absolution. I finally stood up and went to the mirror where I looked at myself with disgust. My eyes were red, my face was puffy, and my shirt was stained with that salty water. I told myself I do not need to cry, that I am stronger than this, and that this is only a new chapter in my life. I then stopped crying, wiped my eyes, and went to the sink to wash my face. I brought myself to a calm state and decided it was time to go. At that time, I do wish I had a little bit of cosmetics, because I didn't want to walk through the waiting room looking like I did. But I knew I had to. So I poked my head out the door, motioned for the nurse to come speak with me. I gave her a hug and thanked her for all of her help. And then I grabbed my keys and wallet, walked right out the door with my chin really straight up. Once I sat down in that warm leather seat, I pulled out my phone, closed my door, and started my engine. I called my best friend Laura, asking where she was. I told her that I was on my way and I would be there in 15 minutes. I knew she was at least 25 minutes away, but I didn't care. I raced down that highway to her, and I did not want to waste any time at all. I wanted to talk with someone who cared about me, someone who had a connection with me. I needed to get this off my chest and bring myself back to reality. I didn't believe it was real. I thought I was dreaming, ironically. As the nightmare continued on, I arrived at Laura's house. She opened the door to my loud banging and dogs barking. I told her that we needed to have a cigarette, so we went out back and lit one up. She asked me what was so important, so I flat out told her. There was no point beating around the bush about it. It was an absolute, no variables to it. We sat there for a moment in complete silence. All I could hear was the outdoor noises of nature mixed with the city. It was cars, airplanes, birds, dogs, bugs, and so much more, but none of it made any sense to me. My mind was still racing to the point I forgot I had a lit cigarette in my hand. She asked me all the normal questions about where I got it from. I had no clue. I didn't care. All I cared about was my mom and staying healthy all the time. I was worried. I was so freaked out, and I still had to tell her. I didn't even know how to do that. She was going to go out of town on a romantic weekend with my stepfather the following day. I had no reason to ruin it for them. I decided to stay out that night, away from my parents, so I would not see them until they got back. So then, after spending a few hours of tears, laughter, and friendship with Laura, I decided to go to my other friend's home. This friend was Ashley. She lived in the same apartment complex as I did, along with Sean, another friend. As I traveled in my car, I was a little more at ease. I still was shocked and felt as if I was launched into outer space, but I had a more serene feeling after seeing Laura. She really helped me out, for the first shock at least. But I still needed Sean and Ashley. They were the ones who really helped me. When I arrived, I threw myself into Ashley's arms in a huge hug. She asked me what was wrong, and I told her we need to sit down. I then spilled the news, and her eyes filled with tears with an expression of shock on her face. She quickly grabbed me, hugged me, and asked me if I was going to be okay. We went through that same conversation I did with Laura, and came to the decision that I needed to have a night of normality. So we cracked open the beer, started drinking, and just then, Sean and his girlfriend walked in. I decided I need to go ahead and tell them as well. So I pulled them into Sean's room and broke the news to them. Sarah, Sean's girlfriend, who I've known for a long time as well, began to cry. She asked if I was going to die. I calmly laughed and told her that no, I was going to be okay. But in my mind, I did not know that. I had no clue. I was scared beyond belief. I told her I was just going to be visiting the doctor more often. By this time, I was in a better state of mind. I had beer in my stomach, and I was coming back to reality. No more outer space feelings, and I was much more relieved. I still could not believe it was happening to me, and I had to accept it and move on with this new chapter in my life. We decided to watch a few episodes of Family Guy before a movie that I had yet to see. I think it was named Stardust or something like that. So as I laid down on the couch to watch the movie, I dozed off into a realm of dreamland. But as I realized, it really wasn't dreamland I was going to. It was back to reality when I woke up. At that point, I woke up with my vocal cords in a hysterical state of screaming. I knew that I had just had a horrible nightmare that I could not believe. I decided that it was just a nightmare and that I needed to get on with my beautiful Saturday in August. Didn't I just have a nightmare about a Saturday? Well, I decided to think nothing of it, of course. So what I did is I just went on with my normal routine. I went out, had my morning cigarette, went for my morning shower, had breakfast, brushed my teeth, styled my hair, and then when I finished that hair, I heard that familiar buzzing in my room. It was my BlackBerry alerting me of a phone call. Then the deja vu hit me. I looked at the screen. It was the urgent care calling. I just remembered I had blood work done at the beginning of the week. My stomach dropped. I was too scared to answer, but I knew I needed to. When I I answered the call, it was a woman's voice that seemed to be the same as the one in my dream. And then I asked myself, was it just a dream? Thank you, and that was my speech, just a dream.